do workbook pages 56 and 57. Our goal for today is that authors don't always state important ideas directly. Today we'll learn how carefully examining text details and thinking about what we know can help us infer ideas the author only hints at. So you do this a lot of times, like when you read a book and maybe you don't know, like the chapter ends, and you're just going to kind of like guess or infer what you think is going to happen next. Okay, so we read about James Kofi Annan's life up until the point that he got his freedom and sought to help others. So we're going to read today his interview to find out what happened. But first, let's start with our vocab word. Our first word is pursue. So our pursue means to try to achieve something you want or need. It says, what career would you like to pursue? So I would like to pursue a career in blank because I enjoy blank. Please make sure it's appropriate. If you need more time, please pause the video. Next one, establish. To start a blank, I'm going to put club. It could be an organization, it could be a company. It says, what type of student organization would you like to establish? I would like to go back to your vocab word, so you'd put establish a blank club because many students want to blank. So you'd like to establish a gaming club because many students want to play games against each other. If you need more time, pause the video. We're going to go back to we're going to start here at the story. Please fill in the words as I read it. The fight against child slavery. After escaping from slavery, James Kofi Annan learned to read and he completed his university education and got a job at Barclays Bank of Ghana. He saved enough money to his dream of establishing a charity to help other child slaves. In this interview, Annan speaks about his What Does the Challenging Heights charity do? So that's the name of his charity. Annan, when I started the charity in 2003, my purpose was to help defend themselves against trafficking, create awareness, and promote education among former child slaves. We started with 5 children, and within a year we had grown to 100 children. When we grew to over 1,000 children, began financing Challenging Heights. You're nominated for the Children or the World's Children's Prize. How does it to have your work recognized? Annan, I've won 8 international awards, and it's very important to me. It feels like a real feather in my... I live a very lonely life, one in which every minute is spent thinking about the children. But when I see them, I feel witnessing their progress as well as receiving recognition of this nature adds enormous energy and motivation to my work. It says, how are children's rights treated in Ghana now compared to when you were growing up? Annan, we've made some progress. Over the past 15 years, the government has put in both the Children's Act to protect the rights of children and the Human Trafficking Act. We now have a national plan of action to eliminate child, and these are all positive steps forward. But we still have government officials who do not believe that child labor exists in the country. That is very difficult to work with because if the person does not believe the issue exists, we have a long way to go. What's your vision for Challenging Heights? Annan, the organization must be a strong international for children's rights and child protection. I want to have the opportunity for us, as well as other children charities, to join in an event to advocate for the rights of children. I believe that the government has the ultimate for the protection of children, and I want Challenging Heights to be in a position to put pressure on the government to tackle this. We're not there yet, but we will get there. All right, on the top. Oh, I didn't move it up. Sorry about that. It says, how does Challenging Heights organization help child slaves? So Challenging Heights helps child slaves by working to change laws and educating child slaves. Okay. So working to change laws and educating child slaves. Underline two details in response 1 and 2 that shows James' charity is successful. So if we go back to the first page, we want 2 lines that show his charity is successful. Right here. So we started with 5 children, and within a year we had grown to 100 children. Then we grew over 1,000 children. And another one, I won 8 international awards. Okay. How can you tell that James Kofi Annan is helping former child slaves? So the text says that how do you know that he's helping? We actually just underline that. Says that he has helped more than 1,000 children. This is just what we underlined. And the text also states that James won 8 awards. All right, James says he lives a life in which every minute is spent thinking about the children. What does this tell you about him? Okay, so if every minute is spent thinking about the children and what he can do to help them, what does that tell you about the type of person that James is? So James is dedicated to freeing children from slavery. And strategy toolkit, making inferences. Making inferences helps you figure out information the author doesn't tell you, so you will better understand, remember, and apply what you have read. Okay, if you need to go back, please pause, rewind the video, submit it when you are done, reach out with any questions.